Oh, hello. Welcome to Full Record Jacket. Thanks for joining us. I'm Phil. That is Ben.
Me, Ben.
Now,
Hi,
he's the
Phil.
star. He's the star of the show on this particular one because this is Ben's vinyl, the very latest acquisitions for the massive Ben record collection. Now, I have no idea what these latest half dozen or so LPs are that he has bought, so I have no idea whether I've even heard of them or what I can contribute to this discussion. But Ben, take it away.
Well, I was hoping you might be able to contribute something, Phil, because there's a few here that I've never heard anything by these artists before. But the first one out there, The Hat, which I have got, to see if you can tell me something about it. Are you ready?
Okay, go for it.
It came last week, and it is
Bye
Don
bye,
McLean.
Miss
Miss
American
American
Pie
Pie,
has said
Don
hello to
McLean.
you.
She did indeed. I got this. Apart from the obvious song, never heard anything by Don McLean. Probably have. Wouldn't know if I did. But do you know anything, Phil,
Well, I
about
think
this?
you'll find that there is another song on there that I think you'll probably know because I'm pretty sure Vincent is on that album.
It is on it. It's track
Yeah, so
3.
I can't believe you've not heard that somewhere.
Possibly.
Even if
Possibly.
years ago your dad must have had Radio 2 on or something, you must have heard Vincent. Starry, Starry Night. You know the one? You
Just
might
sing
know.
it to me more. Will you sing
You
it to me
might
a little
you
bit more?
might know it when you hear it. No, I can't remember. I don't know anymore. It starts with that.
Right,
It's,
okay.
it's a tribute to Van Gogh.
Yes. I've read about that. I've read
Yeah.
about it. Maybe not have heard it, but I suppose it's going to be a bit folky, folk rock, would you say?
He is, kind of folky, folky rock pop sort of, yeah. I think I must admit I have never listened to that whole album. I've heard a fair bit of Don McLean, mainly his hits, but obviously that song is by far the most well known and discussed of his songs. The title
Very
track.
good album cover, I thought.
Yeah, it is quite iconic. I have mixed feelings on American Pie. I mean, obviously, I can't deny it's a good kind of clever piece of work. You put a
Yeah.
lot of lyrics in there. It's catchy. It was a hit.
Hasn't it got the most chord changes of any song, or it did have until sort of like the 90s? Or
I've no idea whether that's the case. I really don't
that
know.
could be a false memory. I could just be, that could just be implanted in my mind from something I once heard. But that was one of the ones that I got this week. Haven't listened to it yet because I've got so many I haven't listened to. It's a habit, Phil. I can't help myself. But do you know
Well,
how much this was?
£3.
No, it was £2. If my partner's watching, it's £1. So that was album number 1, Phil.
Well, you can listen
The,
to that and decipher the lyrics, and you can go online and join all the groups where they discuss what the lyrics mean and all that kind of thing. My big problem with American Pie, I don't dislike it, but my big problem with it is when I hear it, it gets stuck in my head, and it's like a real bad earworm for me, and it starts to annoy me after a while, and then I have to listen to something else to get rid of it. But it does.
well, we've had these discussions about songs that we really hate by artists that we should like. But American Pie does fall into that category. Sometimes I'll hear it and I'll be like, oh, I love this. Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. And then other times, I'm just like,
I know what you mean. It's one of those songs where I can completely understand why people don't like it. There are
yeah,
times I can enjoy it, but it's a sing along for sure. A drunken sing
yeah,
along as well. Is aspect to it as well.
yeah, definitely. Do you want the second one?
Will I have heard of this?
Possibly. I only know one song by this artist, and they're from the 80s. Well, I think they're still going now. Don't tell me on that one. But this was £1 as well. Do you want a little clue?
Go on.
Clue will be ancient. Oh God, I can't even speak. Ancient tribe selfie.
Oh, Aztec
Here we
camera.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aztec camera. Obviously, this has got the song on that everybody knows them for, which I've forgotten the title. Somewhere in My Heart. That's it. So this came because it's basically a stocking filler. So, but it was £1. I've never listened to anything by them apart from that one track. I don't know if you know anything.
I can't really offer much more. I've never heard that album. I don't know very much about them, really. I'd have to look on
No,
Wikipedia,
all I
just
can
like
tell
everyone
you,
else.
1987 it came out in. Great year, especially if you support a certain football team. But that was album number 2, which we don't know anything about, but that's what it was. And it saved a lot of faffing around. So I'm going to put that down there. Haven't listened to it yet. Now, what, third album? Are you ready for this? Now, this is this isn't his first album, this is about his 5th or 6th album. And it's by a comedian. Have you ever watched The Mighty Boosh?
Once or twice, but I know Noel Fielding, obviously. Is that who he is?
Yeah. Have you seen Toast of London?
I've never seen Toast of London.
Well, I bought Phantom Birds by Matt Berry. Obviously, he was Dixon Bainbridge in The Mighty Boosh, and he's Toast in Toast of London. He's released on Acid Jazz Records, and I've purposely not listened to anything by him on certain streaming sites because I've been waiting for these to turn up. And I'm quite intrigued to what the sound's going to be like. But apart from having that, distinctive voice, he's also really talented. I know he's talented because that's why he's an actor and his face is on this thing here. But if you have a look at the back, look at all the instruments he plays. So he writes them and he plays most of it. He's like Dave Grohl with the first Foo Fighters album. So I can't tell you what it's like, and you can't obviously tell me anything because you've never heard anything. But this one is, I'll be waiting for this, Phil.
Well, you'll have to report back on that one.
I'll report back on that one. We can bring that up in another show. What it's going to be like. I imagine it's going to be brilliant because I wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't going to be brilliant. That was the third one. Do you want the fourth one?
I can't wait. I just can't contain my excitement.
Are you sure? I got this, Phil, because of you.
Aha. Aha. I am impressed.
I'm getting a lot of glare back, but there we go. Rock of Ages.
Well, that came out as number 1 on my list of live albums.
It was indeed. That's why I bought it.
Not saying it's the greatest live album, but it was one that I favorited for that particular list, and it is a great one.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet.
Well, I know you are a fan of Before the Flood, which is the 1974 live album with Dylan from that tour. So there is some song repetition on that because you will get some of the same songs that the band performed on that. But it was a double album. New Year's Eve 1971, that was.
Yeah, that's what it says here. Do you remember where it was recorded?
It was the Academy of Music in New York City, I believe.
And do you know what else was special about it? It says on here, on the eclipse of the new year, 71, 72.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, Bob Dylan did play with them on that New Year's Eve, but none of the tracks with him are on that, I don't think, unless you've got a reissue, because they were put on an expanded reissue, but I don't think they're on the original album.
Let's have a look. It doesn't say anything. But
no, the original album is just the band.
I'll tell you one thing about the band, apart from, you probably know them more than I do, apart from this guy here, the rest of them have all got amazing beards.
They do
good
look
facial hair.
They did look like they had come out of a previous century, didn't they? Most of them, apart from Robbie, who'd had no beard.
A bit like early Kings of Leon. They had really amazing beards. So yeah, that's one of them, Phil. That one there. So you're happy with that one, aren't you?
I'm very happy with that one. Yeah, I'm impressed. I think that's a great addition to your record collection. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want the next one?
Go for it.
Now this one, I know nothing about. I don't even know what genre it is. I don't even know who the artist is because I ordered an album from a certain large, jungly type named online shopping provider, and they sent me the wrong album, which is this one. And so I reordered the album again, the one that I was supposed to have gone, and I've ended up with 2 copies of this. And I thought, you know what, I'll send one back, and I'm going to keep this one because it's unknown. It's an unknown quantity. But it's by a band called Kleenex Girl Wonder. Now, I believe these are an indie rock band.
I would imagine they probably are.
I don't know anything about them, but if anybody wants to go on to streaming sites and have a listen and let me know what it's like before I break the seal, it'd be interesting to know what they're about. But I've not read anything about them. I've not done anything with it. It was a mistake, and some mistakes, as my parents will, thingy to, end up being absolutely amazing. Just saying.
Girl Wonder, according to Wikipedia, is an indie rock band from the suburbs of Chicago, now based in New York City. And it's all based around one guy called Graham Smith. And the original backing band were neighborhood friends from his hometown of Downers Grove, Illinois.
So it sounds it could be quite good.
So the band of the last decade largely featured him on bass and vocals and others. So it's a kind of a rotating set of musicians, but he's the main man. And what's that one called?
A bit like the New Radicals.
What's that one called?
This one's called, let me have a look. Let me delve into my sack. Oh, there it is. It is called, hold on.
He's done quite a few.
Vanna Mundi. Can you see that there?
Yeah, that's 2018. That's the second last album. He made 2 albums in 2018. None of his albums has got a Wikipedia page on its own, so I can't tell you anything about this actual album apart from the fact that it's from 2018.
I mean, it's got a cool
1, 2,
album
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's about his 16th or 17th album by the looks of it.
I said, I've never heard of him. It could be
Genius for all I know.
It could be. It could be the greatest album we've never heard of. I'll report back on that one. I will try and listen to it in the coming days. Possibly. I've got so many to listen to, Philip. All I can say is I'm the only person who's probably buying albums at a faster rate than Ryan Adams can produce them at.
Yeah, probably.
So that's that one. So, like we said, that could end up being the greatest album I've ever purchased, or not purchased, even though I did purchase it, but didn't order that one. But that's the one I got.
Kleenex Girl Wonder.
Kleenex Girl Wonder. So, yeah, we'll check that one out. The next one I've got, because I was on a little bit of a splurge, was another and the latest Matt Berry album, which is called, you'll have to forgive me on that, The Blue Elephant. And it's John Merrick in a suit. I
was going to say, surely I know that image, and it's John Merrick from The Elephant Man, isn't it?
Yeah. Which maybe if he'd worn a suit, he wouldn't have had any problems. Because he looks quite cool in that.
He does look quite cool in that one.
At first I thought it might have been a Noel Fielding picture, because it's quite similar to some of the artwork that Mr. Fielding does, but it doesn't look like it is. But once again, on this, which is what I'm intrigued by, I don't know if you can see that, all the instruments that he plays.
Wow.
He actually plays, apart from a guy called Craig Blundell, who plays drums and percussion, Matt Berry is he's playing everything else. There's even a Nashville guitar on there.
It's kind of like it's like Prince and Paul McCartney combined. Then
he is, yeah. There's even there's a Mellotron on it, and where's the other? A Hammond organ. And the only thing I know about Hammond organ music is I think Arnold J. Rimmer in Red Dwarf used to like Hammond organ music. And it's got a glockenspiel on it. One of my favourite words. That's going to be amazing. I'm quite happy with that one.
Well, he'll report back on that later.
Yeah, if I ever get round to
If
listening
you
to
if
them
you
all.
ever listen to it, yeah.
Yeah, I will get round to it. Trust me, it will happen. Just we maybe hear my beard maybe down here, and your hair may have regrown by the time I get round to it. So the last album, you may know something about this. I know nothing. I've got some of his earlier stuff when he was in a band. I've got a couple of his solo stuff. I've never really listened to it that often. Most of the people from his original band are brown bread. That's Cockney rhyming slang, in case anybody doesn't know.
Is it Paul McCartney?
It's not Paul McCartney, but yeah, 50% of his band are no longer with us. It's this
Oh, it's Clapton.
Clapton, Eric Clapton. Backless. I don't know if that's about the bra he was wearing in this video shot there, but it's I don't know anything about it. So I was hoping you might be able to tell me something about this album, Phil.
I believe that was from, is that like the mid-70s, I think?
1978.
Yeah, it's mid to late 70s. It's I've never actually listened to that album. I gather it's quite popular amongst Clapton fans, or certainly those who like his 70s stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously it's the more mellow side of Clapton. But yeah, it is supposed to be good. I have had it recommended to me in the past, but I've never actually listened.
And it's got a really nice album cover.
It has got a cool cover with the lampshade.
I'm going to take this wrapper off of it so we don't get the light reflection. But it's got this really nice sort of gold detailing. And if you have a look at that, even though it's not textured, it looks like the roof of a 1976 Ford Cortina. People are probably now going to get in contact and go, well, do you know what? The Ford Cortina didn't have a vinyl roof until 1978, and even then it was only on the GLX version. Oh, there isn't a GLX version. But look, it's got this really nice sort of gold writing on the back.
That is quite a nice
It
artifact.
gets voted in this. Yeah, it gets voted in his top 10 best albums that he's done. So, and it was only £2, so it's worth a risk.
I do like the Clapton guitar tone, so I'm sure I would enjoy that, I think.
Yeah, so they're some of the album. I've got one more coming this week, possibly two, but I'll do them on one of our little short videos where I always win and you lose.
Now, if you like these crazy ramblings, then do remember that if you subscribe, we will love it because we get excited whenever we get a new subscriber. And if you want to share this channel to anyone you know who you think might actually be in desperate need of watching this kind of thing, yeah, then
or send it to people you don't like.
Now that's an idea.
Because if you don't like them, sending them us, especially you, Phil, is possibly the best present you could give anybody, I think.